بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وإيمانا وفقها في الدين اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وتجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا ربنا. So in our previous lesson we started discussing things that when it happened one fasting person does, it's rendered the fasting void, and also but there's no kafara on the person. The person don't have to expiate. So the author said, let me read where we discussed last in our previous lesson, then we continue from there. So he said, وَمَا وَصَلَ من غير الفم إلى الحلق من أذن أو أنف أو نحو ذلك ولو كان بخورا فعليه القضاء فقط ومثله بلغ ممكن طرحه. So here the author is saying that anything that has reached the throat or the stomach, the throat or the stomach through any outlet or any passage, be it through the mouth or the nose or the ears or the eyes, all these things, when it reaches the throat, then the fasting becomes what? It becomes void. I understand. And here there's qada. There's a person will make up that day, but there's no kafara. Is that clear? There's no kafara. And he said, والغالب من المضمضة والسواك والغالب من المضمضة والسواك وكل ما وصل إلى المعدة ولو بالحكنة المائعة وكذا من أكل بعد شكه في الفجر. So here he said, وَمِثْلُهُ الْبَلْغَمْ مُمْكِنُ طَرْحُهُ. And also here he said also flames also, sometimes there's a flame come out and then it becomes so thick, so much. So here, when it comes like that, you don't have to swallow it. When you swallow it, what happens? The fasting becomes what? Void, and you have to make up, but no kafara. Do you get it? You have to make up, no kafara. And also said, وَالْغَالِبُ مِنَ الْمَضْمَضَةِ وَالسِّوَاكِ. And also, this also, when it happens, the fasting becomes what? Void, and there's kafara. Sorry, there's qada without kafara. There's qada without kafara. And that is al-ghalib min al-madmada. So when rinsing the mouth, sometimes you're rinsing the mouth and water passes through the throat. Yes. So here, if a person is negligent on that, the fasting becomes what? The fasting becomes void. The person has broken his fast, and then there's qada without kafara, right? But if the person, of course, does that deliberately, then what happened? Here there's qada and kafara. You get it? Yeah. Okay. Wasiwak also. So, when you are using a siwak, chewing stick, what happens sometimes, there's something in it that's, so this, when it piles up and then you swallow, or you gather it and you swallow, it also breaks the fast. It also breaks the fast. But if it enters by mistake, then if you do that deliberately, then that will break the fast with also kafara. But if it's out of mistake, what will happen? Here, the fast will be void, and then there's qada without kafara. That is if it's a mistake. You get it? And also In our previous lesson, we mentioned that when someone eat and drink or engage in sexual intercourse with his wife out of forgetfulness, there's no what? There's no kafara. But there's what?
Qada.
There's qada. So here we mentioned two different opinions. One are saying that there's what? There's no qada. There's no qada. No kafara. And one are saying that there's what? There's qada without kafara. But the prominent opinion in the mazhab is that there's what? There's qada without kafara. Okay, that's the second opinion. There's what? There's qada without kafara. Whoever eats or drink or engage in sexual intercourse out of forgetfulness, there's what? A person has to make up a day in place of that, but there's no what? There's no kafara. That is if it's out of forgetfulness and out of mistake. But if it is what? Deliberate, then there's what? There's qada and kafara. I hope it's clear. Okay. And then he said, وَكُلُّ مَا وَصَلَ إِلَى الْمَعِدَةِ وَلَوْ بِالْحُكْنِ الْمَائِعَةِ. And he said, and also anything that enters the body or get through the throat or the stomach, even through a needle, it can be through injection or something like that. This also what? This also breaks the fast, right? It's also what? It breaks the fast. And also like a flu shot, it's also what? It also breaks the fast. So anything like any drop at all, be it an eye drop, ear drop, or nasal drop, all these are things that what the body benefit from. So this, when you apply and it reaches the throat, what happens? It breaks the fast. Okay, but let's say you've applied, let's say a ear drop or eye drop or nasal drop at night, and then after you started fasting for the next day, you felt that drop in what? In your throat. It does not what? It does not nullify the what? The fast. So this does not what? Does not nullify the fast because you applied it before fasting. You understand? You applied it at night before fasting, or even before the second adhan, before the fajr appears. You applied it before the fajr appears, and then after the fajr appears, you felt it what? Or it reached the throat. Here, the fasting is still what? The fasting is still valid, right? But when you apply it during when you're fasting, and then it reaches the throat, then it's what? The fast becomes what? Void. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. And then also said, وَكَذَلِكَ مَنْ أَكَلَ بَعْدَ شَكِّهِ فِي الْفَجْرِ. Right? And also, a person who is late, meaning he overslept. He or she overslept and woke up, and it's Fajr has already Alright, so, and also whoever eats after Fajr thinking that it's not yet time for what? For imsak, or it's not yet time for the Fajr or for the Fajr to appear. So meaning he ate after what? After time, right? After the Fajr time, thinking that it's still permissible to eat.
Okay.
So this person will still what? Will still abstain from eating and drinking throughout the day, and then make up a day. He make qada for that particular day, for that particular mistake, and there's no kafara. You get it? There's no kafara.
And Sheikh, you staying away from drinking and eating, there will be a reward for that one.
Yeah, there will be a reward. That's honoring the sanctuary of the month, right? Honoring the month of Ramadan. Because if you eat, if you don't, if you are not fasting and you eat openly, it's kind of disrespect it's dishonoring the month. Okay. So it's better, even if you're not fasting, you should hide and not even talk about food, and don't give any sign that you're not fasting. Just to honor the month. So abstaining from eating and drinking, even with these mistakes that we mentioned, it's also what additional reward. Of course, but you will not get reward as the person who has fasted, right? But you'll be rewarded for what? For venerating, for honoring the month.
Okay. But what if you make up for that day?
Yeah, of course you'll be rewarded for the fasting. Yeah, and then you've had the reward for what? For honoring the month. You get it. So it doesn't go waste,
No.
Yeah. So, and he said, ليس عليه في جميع ذلك كله إلا القضاء. So all that we mentioned, all the mistakes that we mentioned, or all these that we mentioned, using eye drop, nasal drop, ear drop, or taking an injection, or flu shot, and all this what? It's nullified the fasting, right? Yeah. And then there's no qada on this, except what? There's no kafara. It's only what? It's only qada. I hope it's clear. Yeah. And then he said, وَلَا يَلْزَمُهُ الْقَضَاء فِي غَالِبٍ مِنْ ذُبَابٍ. And whoever swallow a fly mistakenly, right? وَلَا يَلْزَمُهُ الْقَضَاء. Whoever swallows a fly mistakenly, this does not break a fast. This does not break a fast. Or maybe a person is walking in a very dusty place, and then he felt that the dust reached his throat. This does not also what? Does not also nullify, it doesn't break the fast. And also whoever, let's say a person baking a bread or working in a bakery, they use flour a lot. When the person or the flour reaches the person's throat mistakenly, this also does not what? Break the fast. Do you get it? Or someone who is, let's say, these people who make pots, with clay. I understand. So also with this, if let's say the smoke reaches the person's throat, also does not break the fast, because before it becomes hard, there's a process that it goes through. So when the smoke or the vapor from whatever they are using reaches the throat, this does not also break the fast. Is that clear? And then also ولا حكنة من إحليل ولا في دهن ولا في دهن. And also, if let's say a person applies let's say a hair cream, and then that hair cream reaches he felt it in his throat, this does not also break the fast. You get it? The fast is still valid. And then now, from after he has discussed things that nullify the fast, but a person is it's obligated to make qada without kafara, right? And then the last things that we also mentioned, doesn't nullify the fast, no qada, and also no kafara. So here it's coming to mention things that is permitted for a fasting person to do, and that it does not affect the person's fast. So here he said ويجوز للصائم السواك في جميع نهاره والمضمضة للعطش. So he said, it is permissible for for a person, for a fasting person, to use what? Siwak, the chewing stick, throughout the day. You understand? There's no restriction. You can use it what throughout the day without any problem. Any siwak at all, you can use. But so here is siwak equivalent to brush, and then using brush to clean your to brush your teeth. Brush and then toothpaste. So no, it's not the same. Siwak, toothpaste is also what toothpaste. So because when you use the toothpaste, what happens? You feel something, or it reaches what the truth. You understand? Here, there's so much debate on this particular issue, whether it breaks the fast or it does not. But to be on a safer side, with such things, you have to take what precaution. So if there is a siwak that there is no dispute in it, it's better you use siwak and then what stay away from brush and toothpaste. You understand? Because as we mentioned, there are certain things when you use them and then it reaches, or you feel them in your throat, what happens? It nullifies the fasting. You get it? So to be on a safer side on this, you stay away from using brush and toothpaste during the day. And then you stick to siwak. Because using even the siwak in Ramadan and outside Ramadan, it has a lot of benefit, right? It cleans the mouth to make it so clean and pure. Why? Because everyone there's a scent in everyone's mouth, and there's nothing that can take off the scent except siwak. Right? And also the Prophet said, alaykum bis-siwak fa innahu matharatun lil-fami mardatan lil-rabb. Right? He said you should use siwak frequently, because it's purify, it's clean the mouth, and also it's pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah loves those who use siwak. You get it? So you get benefit of using the siwak. Is it clear? So a fasting person can use siwak throughout the day without any restriction, and then that does not affect also the fasting. And also وَالْمَضْمَضَةُ لِلْعَطْشِ. And also, let's say a person is fasting and then the weather is really hot and he or she is thirsty. You can rinse in your mouth to wet the tongue. You get it? Because when you rinse in your mouth, it becomes watery. You get it? So with that does not if the remaining water that's mixed with the saliva, it's not part of the water, so you can swallow it to feel at ease. That's one. That does not nullify the fasting. But we have to be clear here. When you can't fill the mouth with water and then leave some and say that this is part. No. You have to pour all. You understand? So the small that remains with the saliva, mixed with the saliva, is not part of it. You understand? There's a reminder of it, right? There's a reminder of it, if you fill the mouth with water and you pour all, you know that you've poured all. But if you pour some and leave some, you also know. You understand? So you have to pour all, and then the rest, of course, no matter what, there will be some left mixed with the saliva. So here, there's no this does not nullify. But if you pour some and then swallow the rest, you've deliberately broken your fast. So here there's qada and kafara. Why? Because you did that deliberately. And also وَالْإِصْبَاحُ بِالْجَنَابَةِ. And also a person, let's say a married person who had intercourse with his wife at night, can decide to take a ghusl or not. So if he or she decide not to take a ghusl, and then wake up at dawn, the person can still eat the sahur, and then fast before taking the ghusl. You get it? So a person can take ghusl immediately after the adhan. It's also permissible, right? Because Aisha radiallahu anha narrated that the Prophet ﷺ used to wake up at dawn with janaba, in the state of janaba, meaning the state of impurity after he had sexual intercourse at night. So meaning he sleep with the janaba and wake up and take sahur whilst in the state of janaba. So this does not affect the fasting. You understand? Same as a woman who was in a menses, and then before dawn it's the blood, she got pure before dawn, right? So here she has to intend to fast, and then whether she has taken a cleansing bath or not before Fajr doesn't affect the fast. Do you get it? As long as she's pure, she's clean from the blood, from the menses, she's good to go. Is it clear?
No.
All right. So here it's also about to mention people who are permitted to break their fast, and with legitimate legal reasons or excuse, without any kafara, right? Now we have to understand that if you are strong, healthy, and a Muslim adult, responsible Muslim, you have to fast. When you are not traveling, when you are not sick, you are fit, you are an adult, legally responsible, you have to fast during Ramadan, right? There are certain situations that permit you, certain circumstances that permit a legally responsible Muslim to break the fast, okay, without any kafara. Of course there will be qada without any kafara. So he said, وَالْحَامِلُ إِذَا خَافَتْ عَلَى مَا فِي بَطْنِهَا أَفْطَرَتْ وَلَمْ تُطْعِمْ. So also a pregnant woman who fears that when she fasts, that will affect what is in her womb, or the baby. Here he said, أَفْطَرَتْ وَلَمْ تُطْعِمْ. She don't have to fast, right? A pregnant woman, of course, when the pregnancy reaches a certain stage that she can't fast, of course that will be after by the recommendation of a doctor, a trusted doctor, So here, when the doctor advised her not to fast, then she don't have to fast, and then she know fasting will not be sinful for that, because the doctor has advised her not to fast because of the baby, because of the pregnancy. You understand? But if she decides not to fast without consulting any doctor, then she is sinful. Do you get it?
That means any pregnant woman can fast. You have to fast.
No, it's obligatory on her to fast. But as whether she can fast or not would depend on the stage of the pregnancy. You get it? So it's only a doctor who can tell, or an expert who can tell whether she can fast or not. So she has to consult a doctor, understand, and see if the doctor advised her not to fast, then it is haram on her to fast during Ramadan. But if the doctor advised her that, okay, you can still fast, then it is also she will be sinful for not fasting. You get it? So وَالْحَامِلُ إِذَا خَافَتْ عَلَى مَا فِي بَطْنِهَا أَفْطَرَتْ وَلَمْ تُطْعِمْ. So here she will, the pregnant woman will break the fast or will not fast, right? And she will not also feed. right? Normally, if a person break the fast, has to what? Feed. We will explain that. Okay, so here, when she break the fast, or when she did not fast, she will know what? She don't have to feed, right? She don't have to feed any needy person. Normally, if you break the fast during Ramadan, there's a fidya. So each day that you break, or each day that you did not fast, you feed one needy person. You understand? Okay. You feed one needy person. So here, he said, hope this is clear, right? Yeah. Okay. And then also what called the qilatu time. So, and also there's opinion that says that she has to feed one needy person each day. Meaning if a pregnant woman did not fast due to the pregnancy, by the advice of a competent doctor, then she has to feed according to the second opinion. But the prominent opinion is she don't have to feed any needy person. Do you get it? So here, what is on her to do? She has to make qada after Ramadan. After she has given birth. You understand? So she can delay the fasting or the qada until she gave birth. You get it? And also والمرضع إذا خافت على ولدها ولم تجد من تستأجره له. And also breastfeeding mother, right? So a woman who is breastfeeding, for her she can break the fast if fasting will affect the baby. I understand. Because she has to eat well to be able to breastfeed. You understand? So if the fasting will affect the breastfeeding, then she don't have to fast, but with one condition. And the condition is that, or two conditions, it should be that she can't find anyone to hire to feed the child. Do you get it? Meaning, in the past, I don't know whether it's still there now, they hire women to breastfeed children. You understand? So when you look at the story, the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ was breastfed by different women. You understand? By the servant of his mother, and then also Halima. Do you get it? So they used to hire them. So here, if she can't find anyone to hire to breastfeed the baby, then she can she has to break the fast. She should not fast. Do you get it? And also, if let's say the child also, maybe she has found someone to hire to breastfeed the child, but the baby don't want to feed from any woman except from his mother, then here too she has to break. She don't have to fast because of what? Because of the baby. Is this clear? Okay. But if she can find someone to hire and she can afford it, right? So if she can afford it, she can also find someone to hire, and the child can breastfeed from a different woman, then she has to what? She has to hire and then fast. Do you get it? Because it's obligatory on her to fast. Get it? But if she can't find anyone to hire, or maybe she found someone, but the baby don't want to feed from the woman. You understand? Here she does what? She has to. She don't have to fast. She has to break the fast and then breastfeed her child. Hope it's clear.
No, indeed. You mentioned that if she can't fast, she will feed someone with fast or something.
No, she don't have to feed. The pregnant woman too don't have to feed. Okay. Sorry, they don't have to feed any needy. Okay. So that's the fidya. So here, what do they have to do? after winning the child, then she has to make up the days that she missed. Do you get it? For the pregnant woman, the same thing. So here they don't have to feed. There's no also there's no kafara as well.
Okay.
Do you get it?
And also those who has to feed, would they make up after they?
No, it's only old man, aged person who feed.
Okay.
Why? Because the state of a pregnant woman and a breastfeeding woman, it's not something permanent. You get it? It's not something permanent. Meaning, when after winning the child, after the breastfeeding period end, she's okay. She can fast and do other things. Okay. You understand? So that's when she has to make up the missed days. And then for pregnant woman to after the childbirth, then she also has to make so because the state is not permanent. So when they are done with the pregnancy or the breastfeeding, then they will make up. But an aged person who can't fast, right? Who can't fast because due to weakness of old age. For this person, he has to feed each day that he break the fast. Do you get it? Why? Because as an old person, there's no day coming that he'll be strong. You get it? So he has to feed in place of place of that day that he missed. You understand? Is it clear? So let's say a person, also a strong person, Muslim, also legally responsible, health is strong, but traveling. So because of the travel, he can break the fast. So this traveler, he don't have to feed. Why? Because when the journey ends, fasting becomes obligatory on him, and then he has to make up the missed days. Is this clear? So such people, these categories of people, it's not all of them who will feed. So it's only an old person an aged person who is weak is the only one who will feed. That is the fidya. Okay. You understand? But the rest will have to wait, break the fast, to wait until their circumstance or the state change, then they can fast. If it's a pregnant woman, until she gave birth, and also if it's also a breastfeeding woman, until the period ends. Okay, and also if it's a traveler, until the journey ends, then they will make up. They don't have to feed. You understand? But if it's an aged person or person with a disease or sickness that doctors have said that okay, this person will not recover. You understand? Okay, so in such situations, he or she the person has to feed, right? To make up the days that he or she has missed. Is this clear?
No.
Okay.
And also the traveler, is it obligatory on any traveler to break the fasting?
Okay, so now no, it's not obligatory on every traveler to break the fast. So but it's permissible. It's permissible for a traveler to break his fast, right? Because we discussed that traveling is considered a punishment or because of the difficulties in traveling. You understand? So because of that, Allah has facilitated ease for travelers to break their fast. But a traveler who can fast during traveling or during the journey without any difficulty, then it is better he or she fast. But if a person travel and then he finds it difficult, when he travel and then fast and finds it difficult, then he or she can break the fast. You understand? And also a traveling person, let's say a person traveling in Ramadan and then has fasted, said, okay, thinking that he or she can what? Can fast during the travel. And along the way, in the journey, he or she realized that they can't, right? So when this traveling person break the fast, there's no what? There's no kafara. It's only qada. You understand? But if a person, a resident, does the same thing, there will be what? Kafara and then qada. Do you get the difference? So now there's also a debate on what is better. Is it fasting during travel or breaking the fast that is better? Right? So all of these, the Prophet ﷺ has done it. He broke his fast during travel and also has fasted during travel. You understand? But this would depend on individual, the conditions of what, or the state of what individual. It depends from a person to a person to the other. You understand? It depends from person to person. There are people when they travel, they can what? They are still strong and they can still what? Fast. For them, it's recommended they fast. You understand? So there's a story of the Prophet ﷺ. He left Medina to Mecca. Right? He left Medina to Mecca in the year of conquest. In the year that he conquered Mecca. Right? Mecca became the Islamic city. You understand? Before that, it was what? It wasn't considered Islamic city. You understand? Because of the idols in the Kaaba. You understand? So in this year of conquest, the Prophet left Medina to Mecca, and then he got to a place called Qura al-Ghamim. So this report by Jabir bin Abdullah, he said, خرج رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم عام الفتح إلى مكة فصام حتى بلغ قراء الغميم فصام الناس ثم دعا بقدح من ماء فرفعه حتى نظر إليه الناس فشربه ثم قيل له بعد ذلك إن بعض الناس قد صاموا فقال أولئك أصى. So he said the Prophet ﷺ left Medina to Mecca in the year of conquest. Until he reached a place, he got to a place called Qura al-Ghamim. So this Qura al-Ghamim, it's close to what? Close to Mecca, some distance from Mecca. And then he requested for a cup of water. So when they brought it to him, he raised the cup for everyone to see. Then he drank it. Right? So why did he do that? Some companions came to him and said that إن الناس قد شق عليهم الصيام وإنما ينظرون فيما فعلت. That's another narration, and he said فدعا بقدح من ماء بعد العصر فشرب. Some companions came to him and said that some of his companions, they came to the Prophet and said some of what their colleagues, their companions were facing difficulty in their fast during this journey. You understand? So the Prophet and then the narrator said that they said to the Prophet that they are waiting to see what you will do. Since you are fasting, they are also fasting.
Okay.
So the Prophet broke his fast so that they also what? They can also break their fast. You get it? But the Prophet was not facing any difficulty, but they were facing a difficulty in their fast. And he has to what? He has to break their fast for them to what? To imitate. So he did that for what? For them. So here it teaches us that if you can fast during journey, it's what? It's better. But if you are finding a difficulty, then you don't have to fast. You understand? Another companion came to Hamza bin Amr al-Aslami. He came to the Prophet and said to him, Ya Rasulullah, he said, Inni ajid fiyya quwwatan ala siyami fi safar, فهل علي جناح؟ فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إنها إنما هي رخصة فمن أخذ بها فحسن ومن أحب أن يصوم فلا جناح عليه. So he said to the Prophet, "Oh, Ya Rasulallah, I am strong, or I have the strength to what? To fast during what? Journey. Am I sinful for that? Or will I be sinful for fasting during travel?" Right? And then the Prophet said, no. The Prophet said it's a permission. Breaking the fast during travel is what? It's a permission that Allah has given. It's an ease that Allah has what? Facilitated. Whoever want to break his fast, the person is not sinful. And whoever want to fast during what? Travel, the person is what? The person can do that. You understand? Because here they are asking, because the Quran mentioned that whoever is traveling should what? Should break the fast. Alright, so he fasted, and so whoever is traveling and can fast should fast. But if you are traveling and you can't fast, you can also you can equally break the fast and then make up the missed days after Ramadan without any fidya, without any compensation, or without any ransom. Exactly. Okay. And also وكذلك الشيخ الهرم يطعم إذا أفطر. Right? So we also discussed about the aged person, an old person. So when an old person break the fast during Ramadan, the person has to feed, right? The person has to has to feed a needy person each day. That's for what? Only for an old or aged person. You understand? But as for a pregnant woman and then breastfeeding woman and also a traveler, they don't have to They don't have to feed. They have to make up qada after Ramadan. Is that clear? And then we've discussed fasting and also during traveling. You understand? If you can fast, if you have the energy, the strength to fast without any difficulty during travel, you should do that. But if you find difficulty during fasting during travel, then you should break your fast and then make up after Ramadan. And then he said, وَمِثْلُهُ مَنْ فَرَّطَ فِي قَضَاءِ رَمَضَانِ حَتَّى دَخَلَ عليه رمضان آخر. So he said, this is also another issue. A person who has missed some days in the last Ramadan, right? And then was negligent. He or she did not make up these missed days until the next Ramadan enters. So, what is the ruling on this? What did the person has to do here? Do you get the question, the scenario? Yeah. A person who has missed some days from last Ramadan, right? Yeah. So the person is supposed to make up, to fast these days after After the Ramadan. But the person did not do that until the next Ramadan enters or started. So what is the ruling on this? Okay. So he said, وَمِثْلُهُ مَنْ فَرَّطَ فِي قَضَاءِ رَمَضَانِ حَتَّى دَخَلَ عَلَيْهِ رَمَضَانٌ آخَرٌ. So here he joined this He joined this with with the ruling of an aged person, right? Whoever failed to make up the missed days of previous Ramadan until the next Ramadan started, the person has to feed. That's what the author said. But according to the prominent opinion in the madhab, the person don't have to feed, right? The person is sinful for delaying the making up of of that previous missed days. You understand? But the person will fast the current Ramadan. The current Ramadan, the person will fast it. And then after that Ramadan, he will make up what? The missed days of what? The previous Ramadan. Without any feeding. But the person has to repent for delaying this qada. Is this clear? Is this clear? Any question? Okay. Yeah. So you hear some are saying that you have to feed, and also you have to feed in place of what? As when you feed, that will be what? As if what? You've made up the days. But that's not true. You don't have to what? You don't have to feed. You understand? But some also what? You have to feed to serve as what? Penalty for delaying to make up what? These missed days. You understand? But the prominent opinion is that you know what? There's no fidya, there's no kafara, you just have to what? Make up. But you are sinful for delaying it. So you have to what? You have to repent for delaying the qada. Is this clear? Okay. And then now we've been discussing about feeding, right? Feeding. So here we said to feed a needy person. Fidya is what? To feed one needy person, right? If you break a fast, let's say an old person has broken his fast or did not fast due to what? Due to the weakness of what? Old age. So here, what will happen? The person has to feed one needy person each day. So here, the Imam, the author is what? Going to discuss the feeding here. What does it entail? What do you have to feed? Right? So he said, وَالْإِطْعَامُ فِي هَذَا كُلِّهِ مُدٌّ عَنْ كُلِّ يَوْمٍ يَقْضِي. So here, feeding is what? It's one mud. One okay, so the person will feed one mud, right? So this mud is what? 4 handful of what? Of anything that you are going to feed. If it is dates, if it's wheat, if it's oats, anything that you want, or rice, right? Okay. So it's what? It's handful. 4 handful is what? Equal to mud. You understand? So you feed what? Mud. Is that clear? So so let's say an old person, due to weakness of old age, he or she did not fast, right? So they have to what? They have to feed a needy person each day. So they have to provide the person a mud of what? Of the food that is known in that country. You understand? So if people eat maize a lot, or millet, or rice, or oats, or wheat, or date, then you feed from that. Okay. And also, it's equally, you can also feed like pay in cash also. You understand? We will discuss this when we get to Zakat al-Fitr, right? But here it's what? It's the author mentioned to feeding is what? Giving out food, paying or feeding a needy person with 1 mud, right? With 1 mud. But you can also what? Pay that in cash. You find out how much will be sufficient for that needy person for a whole day. You understand? So if it's 50 cedis, if it's 100 cedis, then you feed. Is that clear? Okay. Should we continue? Okay. Alright. So he said, وَيُسْتَحَبُّ لِلصَّائِمِ كَفُّ لِسَانِهِ وَتَعْجِيلُ قضاء ما في ذمته من الصوم وتتابعه. So here it's talking about some manners that a fasting person should observe. So he said it is recommended a person fasting should control his tongue, should control his utterances and what he or she says. You understand? Because fasting is not just abstaining from eating and drinking. You have to also control your tongue to know what you say and what not to say. You understand? So there's a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that said, "Man lam yada' qawla az-zuri wal 'amala bihi wal jahla falaysa lillahi hajatun fi an yada' ta'amahu wa sharaba." Right? Whoever did not leave or abandon falsehood, whoever did not abandon falsehood and also false witness and also foolishness, Allah does not need his fast. Right? So meaning, if a person will be, just following falsehood or be saying it or spreading it, and also person will engage in stupidity or foolishness during fasting, Allah does not need the person's fast, meaning the person will just be abstaining from what? From food and drink and also sexual intercourse without any spiritual benefit. You understand? So Allah wants us and the Prophet wants us to gain from what? From both the physical and also the spiritual benefit of what? Of the fasting. So you have to abstain, control your tongue, control your actions. You understand? Some people don't pay attention to this. They think that fasting is just what? Abstaining from eating and drinking. But it's not the case. You abstain from it and also what? Control your utterances. So that's it, and this also recommended we control our utterances and also be mindful of our action. We should understand that fasting is not just about abstaining from food and then drink. You understand? Because it has both health benefits, spiritual benefit, and also physical. You understand? So you don't suffice with the physical and then health benefits. That's not the main objective of legislating fasting, right? So Allah said, كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامُ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Right? Fasting was legislated for you as it was legislated for people before you. For you, so that you may gain what? The consciousness of Allah, the piety. Right? So we have to control our tongue. And also, so part of controlling it means that we should not lie, we should not say things that are not good, we should not insult, we should not curse, we should not also sing. I understand. So all this part of what? Protecting or controlling our tongue. And also said, وَتَعْجِيلُ وَيُسْتَحَبُّ تَعْجِيلُ قَضَاءِ مَا فِي ذِمَّتِهِ مِنَ الصَّوْمِ وَتَتَابُعُ. And also it is recommended for a person to haste in what? In making up the missed days of the previous Ramadan. You understand? So when you've missed some days in this Ramadan, you quickly make them up after Ramadan. You don't wait until the next Ramadan is approaching or until the next Ramadan approaches. You get it? You quickly you quickly make up those days. Okay? And then he said, وَيُسْتَحَبُّ صَوْمُ يَوْمِ عَرَفَةِ لِغَيْرِ الْحَاجِ. And also, so this is about recommended fasting, voluntary fasting. Right? Recommended fasting, voluntary fasting. So here, He said, وَيُسْتَحَبُّ, it's also recommended for a person who is not embarking on Hajj to what? To fast on the day of Arafah. Right? So the day of Arafah is the ninth day of Dhul Hijjah. Right? Ninth day of what? Ninth Dhul Hijjah. Right? And then fasting on this day has what? Has a lot of what benefit. One of it is يكفر سئل رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم عن صيام يوم عرفة فقال يكفر سنة الماضية والباقية. He said fasting on the day of Arafah alone, it what? It wipes away the minor sins committed in the previous years and then a year to come. Yeah. So minor sins that was committed in these 2 years, fasting on this day alone what? Wipe them out. Right? So it's a virtuous day to what? To fast. You don't have to miss this what? These days.
So only the ninth Arafah one day.
No, it's recommended if you can fast on the first 10 days of what? Of Dhul Hijjah. But it's highly recommended to fast on Arafah day. That's for those who are not what? Embarking on Hajj. The person embarking on Hajj don't have to fast. Right? Because of the difficulty you go through on that day. You get it. And then وَصَوْمُ عَاشُورَا. It said وَصَوْمُ عَشْرِ ذِي الْحِجَّةِ وَالْمُحَرَّمِ. And also it's recommended to fast on what? In the month of Muharram, the first month on the Islamic calendar. It's also one of the sacred months. Right? One of the sacred months. We said that there are 4 sacred months, right? Do you remember? Right, so we have Muharram, we have Rajab, we have Dhul Hijjah, and we have Dhul Qa'dah. So these are the 4 sacred months.
Yeah.
Okay, so fasting in these months is what? It's very rewarding. Like Muharram. So in Muharram we have what? Tasu'a and Ashura. That is on the 9th and then the 10th. Right? That was the 9th was the day that Allah gave Musa victory over Pharaoh. Right? So we fast to commemorate this victory, this day. Do you get it? So and then it's also what? A virtuous day. And then also the Prophet was asked on the virtue of what? Fasting on this day, and then he said it wipes away the fasting of it wipes away what? The sins of what? The previous sins. Right? So the Arafah, it wipes away what? The sins of 2 years, the previous year, and then a year to the following year. Right? But for Ashura, Tasu'a and Ashura, it's what? It wipes away the sin of what? The previous year. Exactly. And I say Rajab wa Sha'ban. So the Prophet ﷺ also what? Used to fast in Sha'ban a lot. Right? And also وَثَلَاثَةِ أَيَّامٍ فِي كُلِّ شَهْرٍ. And also fasting on 3 days every month. It's also what? A voluntary fast, a virtuous, it's also voluntary fast and then rewarding. Right, to fast on what? On 3 days every month. So this fasting, you can either fast on the 13th, 14th, 15th, or you can fast any day, any day at all, but 3 days in that month. You can also fast a day in the first 10 days, a day in the second 10 days, or a day in what? In the third 10 days, the last 10 days, right? So you can decide to what? To fast this way, or you can decide to what? Fast on what? On 13th, 14th, 15th. You get it? So here he said, وَكَرِهَ مَالِكْ أَن تَكُونَ الْبِيضِ لِفِرَارِ مِنَ التَّحْدِيدِ وَكَذَلِكَ. So he said, as we said, you can fast these 3 days, fasting 3 days in every month. So here you should not confuse it with what? With Gregorian calendar. We do not say 13th, 14th, 15th of what? Every month on the Gregorian calendar. It was on the Islamic calendar. Okay? So when you are following, you follow what? The Islamic calendar, not the Gregorian calendar. Because when you do that, inshallah, you get the reward if you are following, if you are not fasting on 13, 14, 15. Right? Because sometimes it's 13, 14, 15, but not 13, 14, 15 on what? On the Islamic calendar. You get it? So you follow what? The Islamic calendar. And this will also help you follow what? Follow the calendar. It's also, you get it?
Yes. Like for example, like now, the Islamic calendar is first.
Yeah, first Ramadan.
And then
the Gregorian calendar is 11th. Yeah, you get it. Yeah, so like that. But if you are fasting, let's say you follow the method of fasting 3 days, any of the days in the month of in any Islamic month, then that will be fine. There's no problem. You understand? So وكره مالك أن تكون البيضة لفرار من التحديد. So he said Malik disliked fasting on what? Restricting these 3 days to 13th, 14th, 15th of what? Of every Islamic calendar. Meaning he don't want us to specify the days like 13, 14, 15. Right? He preferred that you fast any day, but 3 days every month. You understand? Of course. And then his evidence is that in Medina, scholars were not doing that in Medina. Right? Scholars were not doing. They were fasting 3 days every month, but not 13, 14, 15. You get it? But of course, earlier we said that you can choose to fast 13, 14, 15. Or any day, or fast a day in the first 10 months, a day in the second 10 months, and then a day in the last 10 months. 10 days. Okay, it's all acceptable. There are many hadiths that specified. There are also many hadiths that did not. So there's a hadith that says, أمرنا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أن نصوم من الشهر 3 أيام 13 14 15. The Prophet ﷺ ordered us to fast for 3 days every month. On the 13th, 14th, 15th. You get it? And also, there's a hadith of Abu Hurairah that he said the Prophet ﷺ advised him to do 3 things. Right? To pray witr before sleeping, to pray Salat al-Duha, and also fast 3 days every month. So here he didn't mention the number of days or which the date specifically. You get it? So here you can choose to to fast 3 days. 3 days every month, or you fast on the 13th, 14th, and also 15th. Anyone that you do, inshallah, you gain the reward. And then fasting it as you gain the reward of fasting 2 months. Right? This fasting. No, not this. Not this. So here you will be considered as if someone who has fasted the entire year. That's fasting 3 days every month. You get it? Is it clear? And then he said, وَكَذَلِكَ Imam Malik also disliked fasting 6 days after in Shawwal, 6 days after Ramadan. Yes, he also disliked that. Okay, so meaning he disliked it because people were not fasting it in Medina at that time. Why? Because they fear that those who don't know could think or may think that it's part of Ramadan. You understand? So they dislike it. But of course, now things has changed, and then people know, of course, that Ramadan is 1 month, and then the following month, Shawwal, when you fast 6 days, it's a voluntary act of worship. You get it? It's a voluntary fasting. So there's no fear on that anymore. Okay.
So you wasn't talking about Immediately. It was just like
Yeah, you can fast any day, 6 days in Shawwal, any day at all. You get it.
I'm looking at what the book said, like when he prevented people from fasting.
Yeah.
In the month of Shawwal.
Yeah.
Was it like any of the days in the month of Shawwal 6 or immediately after Ramadan?
Yeah, so now he disliked that, especially immediately after, because some may think that it's part of Ramadan. You understand? So this is the main reason why he disliked that. But you can fast any day of Shawwal, and then now, inshallah, many know that it's not part of Ramadan. You get it? So, and then when you fast on 6 days of Shawwal, it's as if you've fasted 2 days. So you get a reward of Ramadan. Ramadan covers the reward of fasting 10 months, and then this will cover it. This will cover the remaining two months. So when you fast Ramadan and then these 6 days, it will be as if you fasted the entire year. You'll be rewarded as if you fasted the entire year. I hope it's clear. Okay. Okay, so he said وكره وكذا كره صيام 6 من شوال مخافة أن يلحقها الجاهل برمضان. So as we mentioned, is there any question? Any question? Okay. All right, so let's pause here. All right, let's pause here and وآخر دعواهم الحمد لله رب العالمين.